Anyway, going back to Technodrome, now with items off. Thank you, Kreestab.
Here we go. Yay.
But yeah, definitely, this seems like a very aggressive team composition versus a relatively defensive team composition. Even though Danny can be relatively aggressive, I feel like Saiki has been shown to be playing relatively slow compared to like FumbLynn and Captain Planet.
So this is I'm already seeing a lot of, you know, I always say there's certain rules you have to follow when you play teams in a meaningful way. The fastest character should always be the one to go for the platform tech chase first, so that way they can cover more options. Right now, we're seeing a lot of situations where someone's getting juggled and someone's getting sent to a side platform, and both teammates are immediately jumping to try to attack and go for that tech chase and end up hitting each other. So we just need to see, oh, a little team combo here. Wait a minute. Cap and FumbLynn absolutely eviscerating the effective health bar of Saiki here. Saiki still much worse for wear, holding down that 81 damage chart right now. Cap not quite gonna do it. Does burn the meter to cancel out that knockback. Saiki finding their way back into center stage, but Cap still not letting Saiki touch the ground quite yet.
Finally getting a moment to stand on the ground, but Cap says, nope, go back in the air. Back into the lasso. Definitely, oh no! I think mef SD'd, unfortunately. Stock-wise, it doesn't look super bad. Cap time with metal arms did 192% if they can get one good hit on him. Or he does it to himself. Basically means that we're in a really great position for stock-wise. That being said,
FumbLynn! Huge three-piece combo to set off the left side of the stage there. 4 to 5 currently, and FumbLynn looking at a potential another early edge guard. But Captain Planet with the metal arms getting trapped here on this left side platform. And I love FumbLynn getting that early juggling, immediately backing off, seeing that Cap is standing there with a lot more bulky hitboxes, hoping to start up a team combo. So I do know that FumbLynn back in their melee days enjoyed teams a little bit, but definitely was more of a singles player. But that was had to have been back 2014, 2015. That was a while ago. So don't exactly know how much teams experience they've had since.
yeah, I actually don't know much about it either. I don't even know if Sled players played a lot of doubles at the time. Danny having to force to recover high because Rocco's actually there covering low, making sure that FumbLynn cannot edge guard Saiki, but Saiki's still taking a safe route. Captain Planet with the arm sitting back at a high percent, but Rocco also at a high percent. All these characters are actually relatively high, especially because Lucy and Danny are both really light. Ooh, the first.
FumbLynn finding their way back, but immediately gets their recovery mix-up called out by Saiki. Saiki with an enormous amount of pressure, and Cap having a really tough time finding their way back to center stage. Finally does. But Lucy Lau just doing a good job at mitigating a lot of the effective extensions that would have been probably hit an early stock take on the Cap here.
Yeah, like Lucy actually down to her last stock while Cora still has 3. I think right now the best course of action for your team to do is to try to make sure that Cora's gone relatively fast. Try to keep Cap at high percent so that you can actually take more time to 2v1, but they don't actually. Cora actually ends up dying to that random forward air from Saiki.
Alright, FumbLynn operating out his right side, does grab the ledge, but Danny ends up working their way back in, does cover all those options on that side platform. And won't quite be able to take the stock quite yet, but FumbLynn just trying to make something happen here. Does end up comboing their teammate a little bit, but no harm, no foul. Just trying to do their best not to take too much active percent, because without stock taking, if FumbLynn were to fall here, that is just 2 stocks of Captain Planet with metal arms versus 2 players.
Yeah, exactly. Now that Danny is actually falling down to her last stock, Rocco actually being in a relatively high percent, relatively light character. 84 can definitely basically die to one good conversion from either character. But Captain Planet with metal arms actually being put in a horrible position himself, actually gets sent the wrong way, unfortunately. Oh no! Danny SDs! Now mef's in a horrible position.
It is 3v1 mef96 versus a very healthy Cora, extra stock in the pocket, and FumbLynn there to cover all of those out of corner.
Yeah, this looks very rough, especially for Rocco, who has been like stated before, plays the game a lot slower. Danny and Lucy can definitely, or sorry, I wanted to say Cora and Lucy can definitely make it really hard for them. but it's over. Game 1 is over, which means that we're going to go to the next game. I wonder what stage they want to pick. I assume they want to have something bigger, right?
Yeah, I think lengthening out those neutral interactions, especially with characters so movement heavy like Rocco and Danny, just being able to stay away from the slower and heavier hitting Koro is gonna make their job a lot easier.
Koro though, with access to that side B, giving her more space with that side B is another like risk you might like have to think about. Like obviously Korra is a character that can actually be in your face no matter what, but giving her more space to set up that side B from the ground, making her burst option so much more threatening is another thing that is a bit rough. That being said, Lucy doesn't really do as well on these bigger stages, so it's definitely probably better for your team composition to go to these bigger stages, even though you might give Korra a little bit more of an advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Just discussing counter picks right now. Start to see where Mef and Saiki will end up. But while we're waiting, definitely would encourage everyone to go and if you haven't downloaded NASB 2, please go do so. Go ahead and get a copy of the game. And if you're already enjoying NASB 2 and you're enjoying the stream, drop a follow. Conduit Gaming constantly running amazing broadcasts for not just NASB, but also Super Smash Bros. Melee and many other titles.
As a matter of fact, NASB 2 is currently on sale for 40% off on the Humble Store. So definitely an amazing time to get it right now. But we're going to Miracle City Volcano again. Biggest stage in the game. Very short blast zones. Definitely a bit of a double-edged sword, I feel like, against this team. Korra killing really early in this stage, as well as Lucy being able to drag you up the side. Definitely not a horrible stage pick, because if you just make sure you don't get caught on the edge by Lucy, Lucy's a very hard time killing you compared to every other stage in this game.
FumbLynn holding down, and something that I really love that FumbLynn is doing is covering out of corner options, so escape options. If you have such a strong AoE character like Korra, going for ledge traps and early edge guard options, being able to cover a lot of like rolls from ledge or tournament winner off the stage to get around the initial threat in Korra. Meanwhile, FumbLynn on the Lucy Labs be able to eat up all those laggy escape options with relative ease. So love the positioning coming out here from FumbLynn.
Yeah, Korra, the character's been living to the longest in the last game, actually dying first in this game. Bit of an interesting scenario. Ooh, but Mef getting teetered and taking another 4-star from it at the ledge. You're definitely gonna die to that really early on this stage. Definitely really have to watch out for that. Now they're putting themselves in a really great spot where they can kind of like focus on a 2v1. I feel like they're not doing that enough in this game, if that makes sense, in this set. Where they're like not focusing enough on like, okay, I just hit you really far, time to 2v1 someone. Instead they're just kind of like approaching this game as like, alright, I'm gonna swap and like, edge guard this other character, which I feel like might not be the smartest choice.
Alright, Cap just holding it down here on the left side, 3 stocks down. Lucy finally dropping their burst. Saiki looking to balance between great target switch coming out of the corner, allowing the Rocco to get back on their feet and get back in a position to sandwich that Korra at that moment. So, but right now, Saiki taking over the game right now. Looking like to take another stock here against Korra right after an early stock on Lucy.
Yeah, definitely. Like Korra 145, Rocco to 148. 2 characters 100%. Definitely have to make sure to try to not lose that stock earlier, especially with Cap, because Cap's teammates already down an extra stock. Ooh, but
FumbLynn not quite gonna do it up top. Saiki there burns the meter to get back. FumbLynn finding themselves back in the center stage. Cap with a second hit to send off the Danny Phantom, but Rocco there for the cleanup. Great target switch and sandwiching to bail out their teammate out of the board.
yeah, Cap and I feel like Cap and FumbLynn are really in sync. Oh, but the neutral special snipe! Actually taking stock relatively early, I think. Yeah, only at 100. Not actually insanely high percent for like a stage like this. Definitely an insanely good call out from Captain Planet. Now we're actually relatively even again. FumbLynn still down a whole stock. That being said, only at 30. Doesn't have too much to fear, but definitely is playing a lot more defensively than she was the other before this.
FumbLynn is operating very vertically, just looking out of that full hop to try to delay some of these initial burst options coming out from the Danny fans, as it does snipe out the aerial option from FumbLynn, and Rocco just doing their damnedest to continue to push Cap on stage, but won't quite be able to steal away the stock quite yet. But FumbLynn with the jump read out of the corner, and Rocco down to their last stock. Stock's tied up, but Cap definitely a little worse for wear.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I feel like, I don't really know what the current strategy is. I'm trying to see what they do. I feel like they're hitting Cap a lot, and they're barely hitting FumbLynn. They're actually up in stocks now. Yeah. Oh, that's not actually gonna do it. That's sent sideways. That should do it. Now it's even stocks. Now it's trying to make sure that this Lucy Lau player definitely is going out early. Otherwise, you're putting yourself in a very rough position later. Gotta watch out. You can't just focus on one player.
That's exactly right. You know, as Saiki just tunnel visioning onto Lucy Lau, trying to steal away that sound, and converts to the 2v1. Cap immediately closes in on that space and allows FumbLynn to get back to stage 3.
Yeah, FumbLynn's hitting. Ooh, that should do it. Yeah, now that's 2v1 position against Korra. Both characters are relatively decently low percent, especially for 2v1. So right now you gotta decide, okay, how are we going to
great save with platform tech chase from the Rocco. Wow, projectile game is not doing Rocco any favors here. Coming out from David and Saiki, just trying to cover these high options, and NASA communicate with his teammate Rocco that you just have to hold down. Wait a minute, ooh, I love it. The out of the hand combo would have been pretty nasty. Going for the high flying ghostly whale, not quite gonna connect, but ooh, big forward strong coming out from Korra. All of a sudden, this is very doable.
Yeah, Korra sitting at 150, has been living for a while. Oh, that should do it. Yep.
Does manage to get that one bar to bail themselves out, but wasn't enough. Cap does fall, and we have a 1-to-1 set here.
Exactly. I assume from the composition of this team, I feel like FumbLynn and Cap are gonna try to go to smaller stages compared to Saiki and mef, who are trying to go at bigger stages. That being said, obviously Tremerton, smaller stage in the game, banned from doubles. It's an auto ban from doubles, which means that every team only gets one ban per set. Obviously, that they or one ban per game, plus DSR, which means that they only really can ban one small stage, and there's a few of them, which means that like you have to really worry about, do I want to go to FD, which is relatively small but relatively wide and relatively tall? Do I want to go to Rooftop, which is really small and really small blast zones? That's probably the one I assume they're gonna ban. Or like obviously they can go back to Technodrome, which is also a relatively small stage. And then I think that's mainly it. So it's basically, do you want to go to Technodrome, or sorry, do you want to go to Rooftop, or do you want to go to Cemetery? And I feel like even Jelly could be relatively too small for them. But obviously with the bigger blast zones, they could live for a longer time. That being said, Cap would also live for a longer time, and Lucy has really nice ways to confirm into the side blast zones on that stage you have to worry about. So what stage you want to ban is actually kind of hard, I feel like, in this matchup.
Yeah, I think the maximizing FumbLynn stocks while simultaneously giving Korra those early kill options it's a catch-22. I feel like FumbLynn's doing a great job at lengthening their stock, the length of their stocks, whereas as a subsequent getting a bigger stage to do that, FumbLynn was living much longer, but Cap was having a little bit harder of a time killing the enemy team. So we'll have to see exactly where we land here.
I was peeking. We're going to Rooftop, which is a very short, like, so the blast zone is
tiny stage.
Very tiny stage. Top blast zone is just as big as the Miracle City blast zone, which is very short. That being said, the middle platform actually in this stage allows you to get so many more conversions.
Oh, FumbLynn! No jump coming out. Oh, Saiki does have the jump. We'll get back, but FumbLynn with a monster combo to already stack up 62 damage onto Saiki.
Yeah, I feel like this is a really rough counter pick, like looking at really rough counter pick for them, because Danny and Rocco, like, both are already basically in really rough situations, while Captain Planet with Metal Arms and FumbLynn are both just kind of chilling.
You know, Rocco losing their first stock already. Cap finding themselves out of the corner here, but going for a quick throw onto Rocco to clear the stage and allow FumbLynn to get back from off stage here. Saiki just trying to dance around FumbLynn's shield here, but will finally lose their first stock. Two relatively healthy stocks for FumbLynn and Cap, but as I'm saying that FumbLynn will lose their first stock. Just the beneficiary of a small stage, being able to see these stocks fly off of them.
Yeah, the FumbLynn also like so the way how the modes work, if you look at the bottom left corner of the screen where you see a little icon, she has 3 different modes: human, ghost, and vampire, and both ghost and vampire are lighter than her normal mode. But Rocco again at 123%. While like on their second stock, it's actually kind of rough for them. One good move and they will like lose it again. Meanwhile, Danny at 62, which same thing, like they lost that stock early before too, but Cap actually going down after a really a stock they held for a really significant amount of time.
All right, ooh, stocks absolutely flying off, and Cap is gonna lose an early one. Oh, that's a crucial mistake
That's
there.
huge.
Cap landed running arms.
Yeah, FumbLynn trying to save him, but like just barely not being able to. Putting themselves actually in a pretty rough position.
FumbLynn might just barely make it back. Alright. Sitting here 134% here on the FumbLynn. Looking to burst that Danny Phantom off the top there, but will lose their stock as a result.
And suddenly, Meth and Saiki are being in this awesome position where they're even up a stock after being down for so long. Obviously, like Danny is at 120%, actually losing that stock now. But from being down for so long, it actually puts them in this such a better position than they were before.
We're working their way back to the center stage here. Cap working with these massive hitboxes, trying to clear the ledge for FumbLynn, but can't quite get out. But the platform is absolutely owned here by Cap here. This platform is the perfect size for these long sweeping kicks to try to get something started here. And oh, finds the massive forward strong, but Saiki will manage to hold onto their stock.
Yeah, so the main thing that the main thing you might have been noticing from these matches is that there's not a lot of slime cancel. That's just because they take too much time. They give your teammate enough time to like come out there and save you. So people have been more using it for burst, more using it for EX specials, for recovery mix-ups, instead of just trying to make sure that they can do better combos, which is actually kind of interesting to see. That being said, Rocco actually lost their stock. They're behind again, but both Lucy and Core at really high percent, meaning that one good hit on both of them is gonna do it.
Alright, Saiki's managing to hold their stock and will get crossed up. Rocco claims that Lucy Loud stock. Stocks flying off the shelves here. Right now, Cora just barely holding on to that 190% stock. That's a big, beefy lady right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Cap, Cora having so many recovery mix-ups, that side special, there's so much momentum. Losing that stock at 208, not a horrible position for these players. It's definitely still insanely even. Just need to make sure, Meth needs to make sure to not lose that stock right now. Like, basically the person is like, the first person that loses stock puts their team in a very horrible position. Definitely not something either of these teams want.
Alright, going into the tail end of game number 3 here. Right now, winning situation here is, can we seal away this FumbLynn stock? But no, Cap's there to wall off and threaten those aggressive options. But Saiki gonna go ahead and go out and snuff out the life of that last FumbLynn stock. And right now, Cap is, oh my god, that's a massive slide. Oh, burns all the meter with those 2 forward strongs.
Meth almost dying to the burst of Saiki, but getting hit with the forward strong, not actually taking it.
Cap just needs 2 big, strong hits there, but will burn the up special, not quite gonna do it up the top.
That's insane.
Oh my goodness, sandwiching on left and right side. Great positioning from the team of Saiki and Meth, but can they seal away the stock? Neutral air is huge there. Will seal away the stock of Meth. Now down to the 1v1 and covers the get up attack. I'm sorry, covers the tournament winner, and that's gonna be a huge 2v1 for
Got
Cap.
an idea about who I am now?
Yeah, just like in Melee, actually, ledge jumping is relatively laggy in this game. You're in lag for 17 frames. You only have iframes for 5 of those, which means you have 12 frames to just punish. It's actually kind of crazy.
Absolute clutch performance there from Captain Planet with the Metal Arms.
Captain Clutch, I see. Yeah, but that was still an insanely close game, even though I feel like it was such a bad counterpick from Saiki and mef. So I feel like, or against them, obviously, right? Because Cap and FumbLynn picked. So I feel like they definitely have figured something out in this 2v2 matchup that they're trying to abuse. But obviously, like, this stage definitely wasn't the one for them. But now going towards a stage, it's gonna be way better. It's gonna see, like, obviously gonna have to see what it's gonna be, but I assume it's gonna be something like Food Dreams or like anything like more big. Like, yeah. Trying to think of like Harmonic, maybe small blast zones but big stage. Could probably also be a really good counterpick for them. Definitely also very scary because all of these characters kind of kill really early, except for Rocco. Rocco has a harder time killing, which means that you probably wouldn't want that preferably. But if it is the case, it's not that big as if you do have to go to the stage instead, it's not the biggest deal. Also helps Rocco to kill on that stage, but definitely also has to worry about dying too early.
Yeah, I think especially on that last stage, just the ability for Cap to cover the entire center platform was really crucial to their success. And you know, these platforms are a little less accessible. We do have this small center platform here and the larger, higher side platform. So I think it's definitely going to be to the advantageous for characters like Rocco and Lucy Loud here, who have access with their high vertical recovery options and mix-ups to be able to reset those neutral supports.
Definitely. You can already see it's already kind of working out for them. I feel like this counter pick, they're already up for a significant amount of damage. I feel like they kind of are just kind of in control because of the more space and stuff. Like, and that also means that, like, right now, I think Rocco with one good read will probably actually kill both of these characters.
All right, Rocco sitting at just a cool 59, and of course Danny Phantom at a cool 46. Just getting absolutely peppered. Right now, we have 117 on the Lucy Loud, 134 on the bar, but big read from Cap. Does Cap be able to steal away this stock on a Rocco? Not quite. Plenty of time to get back into center stage, but again, Rocco being sent off, and Danny being forced to retreat back to help cover that ledge.
Yeah, actually almost getting sniped even by the water, but now being sniped by the back air. It's actually really rough spot for mef, but actually Saiki taking advantage, taking the stock from Captain Planet, trying to help their teammate out covering option.
Go. We have the advantage here for Rocco and Danny Phantom, but as we've seen, Cora with these forward strongs are going to do so much work at sealing away these stocks relatively early, and Lucy Loud will confirm that edge guard here onto Saiki. Saiki, not to be denied, will answer back very quickly, and does snuff out the jump here. Will Captain Planet fall early? No. With the reversal back throw, and goes for the stop. Not quite going to seal the stock early, and finding ourselves back into center stage. mef trying to get something started here onto FumbLynn. FumbLynn getting immediately juggled by mef and sandwiched by Saiki, but Saiki cannot seem to get a meaningful converting hit here. Will cover this next chase option. Does get the double jump read. No, not quite. Massive damage conversion, but no stocks taken quite yet.
Yeah, Rocco, both Rocco and Danny still sitting on 3 stocks. Meanwhile, FumbLynn high percent on the 3rd stock, and Captain already lost the 3rd stock, meaning that they're actually, again, in a very significant advantage. So I feel like they have been having a hard time holding this advantage. They have a good time creating it. They have a hard time holding it. That being said, Lucy having to spend meter for burst. Rocco almost killing it with the grounded up strong pogo stick, but Rocco immediately in return also having to spend burst. A lot of meters being spent right now.
Yeah, right now the advantageous positioning of having all that meter Cap sitting with 3 whole bars, but will that be the factor that allows them to mitigate the stock disadvantage? Right now tied up 3 apiece, but those 3%, those 3 stock characters are holding out at a very high percentage.
Definitely. It's gonna be hard to kill, like, Cora. Cora's been, like, living until super high percentages. Lucy actually at 155, which is kind of crazy for us, how light as she is. I feel like one good grab or one good conversion. Oh, actually getting nared by her teammate. That is so unfortunate.
Well, Cap going for a high read on that projectile coverage, but just seeing the situation do, getting stacked on by both members of the team. Alexa go back to center stage and reset back to neutral. 2 stocks apiece on the side of FumbLynn and Cap, and then 2 sides with mef and Saiki. It's like you're having a little bit of trouble getting back to center stage, getting walled out by Cap. Cap dancing on on both sides of Cap of Saiki's shield, but FumbLynn finally working out the courage to get in there and make something happen. Big shield pressure situation here on the Saiki. Saiki with the early jungles pushing FumbLynn up to the sky, but not quite gonna do it up top. Doesn't quite get the strong hard read from Mef, and Lucy Loud holding out for another day.
Almost accidentally confirming into their own teammate. Which was very fortunate. But actually taking the Rocco stock like right after they used meter. So kind of sadly wasted. That being said, Lucy immediately losing stock now, and it's even. It's it's really even right now. Denny's still holding off to their second to last stock. Everyone else in their last. If FumbLynn and Cap take this game though, they are moving up to the next round. So definitely a lot of at stake here from Mef and Saiki. Saiki definitely don't want to lose this stock, but they definitely want to try to get this one early.
FumbLynn there with the soft hit to break out that grab mix-up. Mef here just trying to get some damage stacked up onto Cora. Cora, of course, like I was saying, on average, somewhere between that 150 and 180 mark in these last couple games, especially on a big stage like this.
Ooh. And
Ghostly Whale not quite gonna do it on top from FumbLynn. FumbLynn having to burn a little bit of bar. FumbLynn still getting bopped off the stage over and over again. And finally, Saiki will meet the rest of their compatriots on last stock here. And Mef still holding down pretty clean here, only at a 51%. But in a tough spot here, Cap finally finds their way back into center stage here. Mef with a tech choice situation throws the dog out, can't quite confirm, and yet another 2v1 situation here. Can Cap do it again?
Yeah, exactly. Can't Cap do it again. I feel like right now Saiki and Mef need to just not try to hit Cora both at the same time. They need to figure out who should hit Cora when. Talk to your teammate. You're probably in a bush yet. Say like, hey, I'm gonna get her now, or just say swap or something to make sure that you're not both trying to hit the same character.
Out of the hand. Not quite gonna do it yet. Still 49% is such a juicy percentage here if your Saiki does cover that fastball to get back into center stage. Side special burn and a high coverage coming out from Mef, and Mef will claim and push us to a game 5.
Mef hitting the grounded upstrung 4 times in a row, I think.
Also, I don't know if you know this, TNT, but when you are throwing someone, you're invincible.
Yes.
Yes, so that is something that is huge in doubles. What can happen is, if you have a really laggy throw animation, like with Reptar's back throw and stuff like that, you can have your teammate send out a really huge hitbox, and you don't have to worry about getting hit by it.
Yes, exactly. It is kind of crazy in this game. I don't think most people are abusing that yet, because I feel like that's kind of like knowledge that you only know after playing a lot of doubles. And I don't think doubles has been grinded out as much as singles because, you know, no real doubles mode. That being said, Greastep does run a Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2v2 Discord server where you can find 2v2 games. So definitely something that is going to be nice for if you want to practice or just play doubles, because doubles in this game is insanely fun. It's less meter-oriented than singles, but still insanely, like, insanely fun and chaotic.
I definitely see situations where you're burning meter to extend a punish through an invincible throw for like super early kills. I could see something like that, and it's definitely something that's really interesting because it is a mechanic in melee, but melee your throw animation, your throw invincibility is something like only 2-3 frames. It's not, and you have to time it almost perfectly. So there's a situation where throw invincibility will save your life, but it seems very abusable in this game right now.
Oh, Mef actually losing their stock really early this time. That's so unfortunate.
Big stop from Cap. Goes for the early juggles, but can't quite find anything with stock advantage. Looking really juicy. FumbLynn, wait a minute. Oh, great juggle from Cap and FumbLynn. FumbLynn, seeing that Cap was in a position to confirm with the air forward strong there, immediately started drifting backwards. Like, I don't want to get caught up in that. Let me just let my teammate finish this combo.
Yeah, FumbLynn and Cap actually a great spot. Having already taken down 2 of their stocks, Jellyfish Field, it's going to be even harder to kill Cap in this stage. This is the highest blast zone in the game, and it has a relatively big side blast zone. Even from platform, it's like almost just as tall as Rooftop was from base platform. meaning that you just gonna have a harder time like getting anything done. You need to make sure to focus on the side kills. Backthrow actually doing it on Captain Planet, dying actually relatively early for their own set. Saiki actually being kind of like focusing on FumbLynn being off stage, meanwhile Koros behind him not doing anything. It's kind of chaotic. There's too much happening.
Cap just working their way back from off stage or holding down center platform. And definitely, this looks like a very good Smashville clone. Definitely one of my favorite stages on the extended platform fighting universe. FumbLynn trying their best to get back into center stage here. Cap sitting in a pretty tough spot, sandwiched between both Saiki and mef. Mef finally working their way back onto the platform. Does get caught on the teeter and will eat that huge forward strong. And that's going to be an early stock taken.
Captain Planet covering high so the FumbLynn can stay on the ledge, being saved for the ledge edge hug and getting Saiki, having Saiki had to burn their bar. Rocco immediately losing their stock close after 2. They're significantly down an entire stock actually, but not actually as much as I thought it was. I just noticed the FumbLynn was down in stock already. But Caps at 120, 127 had to burn meter. It has to go low, has to burn more meter just to make it back to stage. Actually,
great edge guard from Saiki. The Saiki there covering an extended edge guard coming up from mef. Mef pushing Cap coast to coast, and Saiki just in the right place at the right time to convert off of their teammates' combo.
Yeah, definitely. Saki's doing a wonderful job making sure that they're providing the pressure that mef needs to set up all their projectiles and make sure that the projectiles that mef has are also great for his setups. Meanwhile, Cap and FumbLynn both off stage. Saiki taking the early stuff on Cap.
No. All right, we have 4-3 currently, and FumbLynn in a tough spot here. Already 92 damage stacked up. All right, looks like mef is going to go ahead and take ownership of this rotating platform here. Cap in a tough spot, and FumbLynn trying to convert on this edge guard on Saiki, but Saiki going to go ahead and full hop back into center stage. FumbLynn with the back throw trying to reset that edge guard sequence. Goes for the low recovery read, and Saiki will SD, unfortunately.
That is unfortunate. I definitely, one thing to note though, definitely try to, they definitely tried, they need to get rid of the Chorus stock as fast as possible because that means that the Lucy is going to be at a significant disadvantage for a significant portion of the match. But right now,
FumbLynn going in with a pretty aggressive interrupt. Cora will fall. 2 stocks of FumbLynn versus 3 stocks of mef and Saiki. Mef will fall. 2 low percent stocks of mef and Saiki versus FumbLynn. Lucy Loud 152. Not quite gonna fall off. Not quite gonna be sent off the top yet. But
it had
mef
to burn their meter.
Shark there.
FumbLynn had to burn their meter to survive, immediately getting punished for it. Now though, like obviously the nice thing about Lucy, if Lucy is in human mode, they can steal bar. They just stole an entire bar, but
Wait a
barely
minute.
surviving.
FumbLynn
Had to burn
making...
both of them.
Oh, huge lead for FumbLynn.
You gotta
Wait a
save
minute.
it. No.
Wait. Oh, all of a sudden, FumbLynn's in the lead. Clutch performance here coming out from Fumbles.
FumbLynn actually taking down that Rocco stock really early. Rocco burning the jump. Now it's Danny versus Lucy. Definitely not a horrible matchup for either of these characters. But FumbLynn is known to be one of the
juggle. Doesn't. Oh, huge DI mix-up coming out from FumbLynn, but FumbLynn 101 to 80. Danny with the potential to clear it out, but really fast on and off the ledge, but still Saiki with the ledge trap. Can Danny confirm off? It does find the grab. Look for the throw mix-up. Covers the wall,
do it.
and that's gonna do it. All right, huge clutch. Great way to close it out from Saiki, but FumbLynn made it horrifying.
That is actually seating-wise an upset too. So actually kind of crazy. I did not think this team was gonna work out as well as it did. Rocco Danny seems like a very weird team, especially in a game like this where, you know, playing slower in doubles is just not as powerful as it is in other games due to the fact, again, no share stocks. That being said, though, they did an amazing job. I feel like mef just kind of created this, controlled the space, and then let Saiki do whatever he wanted. And while Captain Planet with Metal Arms was more of like, okay, I'm going to throw a big hitbox to kill, and FumbLynn tried to take them early if they couldn't. So, you know, definitely 2 really great team synergizing team comp